Welcome to the 49ers You've Got Mail podcast presented by Delta Dental. I'm Lindsay Polaris, and today we have a dynamic duo in studio, defensive linemen Chase Young and Nick Bosa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And you guys are first time podcast guests together, correct?
First time tandem podcasters.
All right, well, we're going to have some fun today. So let's just get right to it. You guys have had 9 games on the field together now. Let's do the mid-year review. How has it been playing in the NFL together compared to your Ohio State days?
But I wouldn't say it's too different. Still learning, from this guy.
We definitely got our college career cut early. I had a little injury, so we didn't truly get to play because the only year we played together was when he was a freshman and I was a sophomore. So now that we actually get to play in a full season together and now we're about to go on this playoff run, it's really cool.
I see you guys always talking to each other about, I think, pass rushing techniques. How great is it to be able to just lean on each other for that?
It's good. In the NFL, you're constantly learning, and different players do things differently, different body types, different mindsets, and just hearing from a really good player and then him learning from me, you could always improve.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously Nick, at the top 2, number 1. I feel blessed with the opportunity. Just because obviously he was real good at Ohio State, and I would always pick his brain. But now, now we're in the NFL. Just hearing the things that he's just learned over, his career, being in the NFL, and I know those things can help me.
What's the best piece of advice he's shared with you, Chase?
I would just say, get off. I think that's one thing that Nick always, he says, yeah, you can do this with your hands, but, regardless, if you get off the ball, it should take care of itself. So I feel like that's the biggest, number one thing I try to, keep on my mind when I'm out there is to get off the ball.
Nick, you touched upon this, but you guys only got a season together, one full season together at Ohio State. So how does that one season translate into this long-standing friendship that you guys developed?
I think, when I was at Ohio State, I was kind of coming up and coming into my junior year, I was the guy. And then he came in right after me, and he was kind of like my little brother coming up. And that's kind of how it is in college. You spend so much time together, and you look up to the guys ahead of you. And then obviously I'm gone, and he takes over and does a lot more great things at Ohio State than I ever did. So he had an amazing career, and then we went our separate ways, and we're doing our own things. We both battled some injuries, and so we have a similar path. And now that this team has brought us together, I think it's rekindled our friendship, and I'm just happy to have him.
Both of you had mentioned that you stayed in touch over the years. In terms of an NFL lifestyle, what does that mean? You guys shoot each other a text every now and then. Did you ever work in the off season together?
We would keep in touch a little bit. I remember when I got hurt, he gave me a call, and I still remember what he told me, and it came true. So, but yeah, life comes at you, and we live in different places, so it's tough. But now that we get to play together and spend all this time together, it's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like in college, when you go through those gruesome workouts together, you go through camp, still kind of new. That part of our life, we just get to college, that's our NFL at the time. So still learning and being in being in that process, and just being with each other a lot, and me always picking his brain here and there, action, and just seeing me as a young player coming in, just seeing what does greatness look like, or what does one to be the best look like. That's why,
Got him right here.
I
Yeah.
hang around Nick, just soak up everything I could. And I mean, definitely when he got hurt, I hit him. But it was like, it's kind of one of those things like, if I don't see Nick for 2 years, then I see him one day, then it's like, it rekindles right there. Like it's always all love. So I feel like that's how it is.
You both ended up going number 2 overall in the draft in your respective years. Was there ever a time that you let yourself imagine, hey, we might be playing on the same NFL team one day?
I would have never thought we'd have played the same team.
Especially
going number 2.
Yeah, I mean, seeing what he did his junior year at Ohio State, I was like, all right, we'll be opponents forever.
So you get the news that Chase has now been traded to the 49ers. What's the first thing that goes through your mind?
I think George called me, and I just FaceTime, or did you FaceTime me?
I think you called me.
I called him, and I was just like, bro.
Yeah, that's just so, bro.
But yeah, it was weird because I heard that they might trade him, and I was shocked by it. But then they traded
Sweat.
Just to be able to add him and go on this run together. It's definitely a fairy tale type situation.
Chase, how has having Nick in this locker room helped you acclimate that much faster?
Oh, anything I needed, or meeting room, left, right, definitely feels good. Knowing that it's somebody I know that I can just ask. Not that if I can ask anybody else, but feel more comfortable. Obviously, first day in, like Nick, what we doing right now, basically. And it definitely helped and made it a lot easier with me just coming in.
As you both sit on this couch, you are very chill personalities. You see you both out on the field, total opposite. When does that switch flip for you two?
I think, right when you go out there.
I'd say like that morning of the game,
Yeah.
I start to feel a little more.
I mean, Chase has a little more bubbly personality than me, I'd say. He's just a little shy right now.
I'm just a little tired.
Well, Kyle Shanahan has said on multiple occasions that you give speeches.
Yeah, I mean, once you've been through a lot in the league, you just have the wisdom and you want to share it with guys, because I've been close many times. And if you feel like if you don't share what's on your mind, you're doing them a disservice. So Kyle threw me into that role a couple years ago, and I like it because it makes me think throughout the week of what I'm going to tell the team. And there's so many weeks in a season that it's hard to think of something new, especially when like you play a huge game against a top opponent this week, and then you have a down kind of week. But you need to be up for every single week to get to where we want to go. So just finding different ways to bring the energy, and it's not like I'm rah-rah getting everybody hyped up. I'm just saying what's on my mind.
Are you saying it how you're speaking to me now, or do you get a little bit more hyped?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
He's consistent.
He's consistent.
Chase, in your 49ers debut, you found your way to the opening walkout with the bump box. So where does that come from?
First thing he's up there. Didn't take him long.
Honestly, I just felt it. I mean, I didn't want to not be myself coming on to the team. I had a talk with Eric Armstead. I called him Captain. He was like, yeah, bro, like when I first got here, he was like, yeah, bro, I'm kind of, I don't talk too much on the field, Nick, he's kind of just consistent in playing, but he's like, bro, we want your energy. Like we want to feed off of it. And so he basically gave me the green light after he said that. And I said, all right, let me just be me.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a D-line thing, but we're a pretty chill group.
We want to give a shout out to Delta Dental, the podcast sponsor here. Niners, protect your teeth and your budget with dental plans from Delta Dental. Get fumble-free dental coverage today.
So having a guy like Chase, I talked about that with Eric too. Seasons are long, and you do need somebody to bring the energy. And I saw him, how he carried himself in Washington, and he was always hyping up the offense, trying to get everybody going, and I think that's really important.
So other than Chase, is there another very big personality in that D-line group, or is it just you?
You get to know him. Grave is funny. Grave is a character for real when you get to know him.
Yeah.
But, I think everybody really chilling there.
I think playoff Chase would be
Different
It's
level.
gonna be a little edgy. It's a little twitch.
Edgy. Okay.
You know, I never been here before, so it's kind of like I'm just taking it, day by day. Obviously, it helps when Nick, has been to the playoffs every year. He's been here. Just really it's really mental, I feel like, and just trying to, slow walk your way up to that first game because, we can't be too hyped right now. Like, you're going to burn out. Like, so where do I take my mind without with still being locked in, but, still take my mind somewhere, but still not getting too far out, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Conserving it.
Yeah, just conserving it and what I should do with my time.
And Nick, for you, you've been a number 1 seed before. This is a totally unique experience, however, with that seed locked up in week 17. How different is this experience?
Like he said, you don't want to get too high or too low. You have a week off, but you also want to stay locked in. And it is a mental thing, taking that step. Just every single play is so big, and I love the playoffs because any selfishness that you have goes away in the playoffs. Like, I want this many stats, I want this, that.
Want that dub.
You just want to get off the field and get the offense the ball. Like, there's no other, because there's selfishness to the sport. Like, everybody's trying to put food on the table for their families and make as much money as they can. And we're obviously a great team, and you're selfless among the team. But when the playoffs come around, it's just do your job, get off the field, and move on. And that's what I love about it.
From everything this team has said leading up to the playoffs, so that's really been the selfless mentality that the 49ers have had all year. How rare is it to be a part of that type of locker room?
Right, yeah, we do it pretty much all year, it seems like. But compared to other teams, like, there's so many great players on this team that you can't try and stand out and be the guy because you'll get humbled. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely be humble.
Chase, for you, obviously a first-time number 1 seed, but also to be going into the playoffs with this stacked roster. What is that like?
Man, it's cool. And like Coach Shanahan, he tells us, now everybody's gonna praise us again, and everybody's so talented and this and that. But at the end of the day, we have to make ourselves, we have to put that on the field and actually do it. So we have it on, piece of paper, but at the end of the day, I know I got to play that C gap the best of my ability.
Yeah, it's all about the 2.5 hours you're out on that field. No matter what kind of players you got to be the best team for 4 quarters.
You guys will have the weekend off. How much of that weekend are you dedicating to watching football and potentially your divisional round opponent?
I watch some of it.
It's just nice to watch other people battle while you're
Not.
Chilling.
healing,
I got
while
you.
your body is reproducing cells.
Very
They're
scientific answer there.
destroying themselves. So that's what I'll be happy about. I'll be watching the cells do the job.
As your cells are replenishing, this is not vacation time. But what do you guys get to do this week that you wouldn't on a normal NFL week?
I think it's just being able to sit there and just do nothing. The pleasure of just
Underrated.
It's underrated. The pleasure of just chilling.
I've been dying to get some reading in. and I'm finally able to do that because I'm not super exhausted. And then yeah, just feeling fresh out on the practice field is a good feeling. Hasn't been
Yeah.
like that in a long time.